Welcome to Our Best Self, a discussion sharing forum to help you see habits and practices that will lead to your happiness and success personally and professionally. Mental strength, happiness, health, business success, and the gamut at large. How do you act? How do you do the things you want to do or know you should do? And what motivates you? This is something that we all struggle with. We know the right thing to do. We know what can achieve our ambitions. We see the path. But at some point, we either act or we don't act. And it's a curiosity. When you speak to high performers, they refer to the grind, having self-awareness, being comfortable in their own skin. But in all of it, each of them has a practice, has a method in order to get themselves to act in the direction that will lead to the results that they want. Some of these are how they were raised, and others is learned behavior where they had to reinvent themselves. Today I'm in downtown Atlanta, and after going through a little strategy session and a sketching session with a creator, he and I wrote down things that would help us become better, and I want to share those with you. What leads to action? How do you get yourself to do what you know will lead to the results you want? Here are a couple things to think about. The first is, are you taking and acting for somebody else? So, are you framing this in a way where you are accountable to someone else? If so, who is that? How are you going to do that, and why? This is not a negative. Being accountable to someone and having them depend upon you is a partnership and a relationship that is extremely effective, right? If you think about your children and your effort to get to a place to either meet them, pick them up, climb a wall, go to work and do the work necessary to win the deal, to put food on the table, you are motivated, and despite any possible movements, any possible delays, you're going to hit your goal. So being accountable to someone is the number one method. We do this in our daily lives, and it works hugely effective. Number two is, are we doing it to learn? Right? If you are trying to build a business, if you're trying to learn a new craft, if you are working to develop something for yourself, develop something for another, for what purpose are you working to learn this? If you're working to become a videographer, then is that why you're learning it? Or are you doing something else to get to learn it? And who is benefiting from this work? Who is benefiting is a huge tie-in to the first principle of being accountable. Number three, the third habit to help you hack yourself into acting is, are you doing it for skills? Can you frame yourself in a way that is joy in and of itself? Meaning that you are literally happiest learning a new language, writing, traveling. So whatever you are doing, it is actually the motivation, because that is precisely what you love. And if you think about that, if you apply that, then you can find yourself doing what your ambitions are tied to and you desire. So, if you think about Russell Brunson, you think about Gary Vaynerchuk, if you think about baseball players that spend time in building up their skills, if you have read Talent Code, if you look at the research, you look at the science, individually, all these folks are acting. They're building. They have set up mechanisms that enable their performance to achieve these goals. And so if you're trying to become your best self, if you're trying to make either a new product, you're trying to create a business, you're trying to be a painter, you want to be a personal brand, you have these ambitions. For me, one of my top two is continuing to coach individuals, open a hospital in Rwanda, fundraise for those events. You have to act. If you don't act, these are just ideas. Without action, the ideas do not change the world. They do not achieve your ambitions. So find the hack that works for you. Be accountable to someone else. Do it to learn, or do it because you have joy in the skills itself. Do this, and you'll be your best self. Apologize about the street noise, but I had to share this after that amazing session. Have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to Our Best Self podcast. This is a passion project where I'm sharing the daily writings and studies from around the world and best that I can find for you.